I'm back, and today we're talking about 5 ways to make your kitchen functional. First of all, to have a functional kitchen, what that really means is it needs to work for you. So there are quite a few different factors to take into consideration. For example, are you a large family? Are you a tall family? Do you have more elderly people living with you? Do you have lots of young children? All of these factors can make a huge difference when it comes to designing your kitchen. For example, if you have lots of children, or if you have any children, you maybe want to make sure that your certain parts of your kitchen are safer, or maybe certain things are out of reach. Whereas if you're a more elderly family, then you might want to look into units that are easier to open and close, maybe not having to bend down so much. That is something that is kind of like a blanket statement in terms of making your kitchen functional. I know I didn't give you actually any tips yet, but yeah, it really does depend on the family, but these are 5 tips that I have to make your kitchen more functional. Okay, so let's get straight into number 1. So number 1 is having your ovens side by side. And this is just a really nice feature if you have the space. It does mean taking up a little bit more space in tall units, so that means kind of full length larger size units. But if you have the space, side by side ovens or oven combi and warming drawer is ideal. So the benefits of this are that you don't have to bend down because they're usually at waist height, so both very easy to open and close. Another advantage is that you can keep an eye on your food easily because you don't have to kind of, again, or bend down and look in and see what's going on in the oven. You can just see straight into the oven from standing height. Another advantage is if you have children in your household, the handle is a little bit higher up, so it's not as easy for children to just come and open the oven. And also visually, I think visually it just looks nicer to kind of have the two next to each other. It just creates a bit of symmetry. So in the majority of the kitchens that I design, we usually have a oven and combi, and then if space, oven combi and warming drawer. And the advantage of this is that when you have a combi, you don't have to have a microwave on your counter or find another home for your microwave, and it just looks a lot nicer, it matches your oven, and it's just less appliances on your worktop because we want to get everything off of the worktop, so when someone comes to your house it just looks clear. And I just feel like a clear kitchen just makes you feel a lot more at peace. Is that just me? I don't know. Obviously, if you have a big family, you're probably not going to be clear all the time, but if there's certain things we can do when we design the kitchen to help you, then that is what we will do. For example, getting the microwave off of the worktop and having a combi oven instead. So that's number 1, side-by-side ovens, as opposed to stacking them one on top of the other or having your oven under counter. So tip number 2 is to have your bin, dishwasher, or bin, sink and dishwasher in that order. So you want to have your sink in the middle and your bin and your dishwasher either side. So the advantages of this is that whoever is doing, or whoever's on wash up or dish duty, whoever is on dish duty can stand in one place, kind of scrape the food into the bin, give it a little rinse, put it straight in the dishwasher, or, you know, scrape the food into the bin and wash up your pot, put it on the side to dry. So when you do this, you also start to design your kitchen in zones. So that then becomes the cleaning zone and your prep zone. So where your hob is, I usually try to make sure it's not parallel or right next to the sink, because you may be someone who just does the washing and the cooking, but if in your household you have one person who does the cooking and one person who does the washing, which is also quite common, is in my household, I don't like doing dishes. If that's the case, then you want to be able to both use the kitchen at the same time and not be kind of butting up or be having your backs to each other. So I always offset the sink and the hob slightly so both people can do their job at the same time. So then you have a cleaning zone, which is where your bin, sink and dishwasher is, and then you have a prep zone, which is where you have your hob, and then kind of cutlery drawers either side or underneath the hob, and kind of closer to the fridge and pantry. So the person who's prepping the food doesn't have to get in the way of the person who's cleaning. So yeah, so this one just helps with the flow of the kitchen and makes it possible for multiple people to be doing their duty, their kitchen job at the same time. Okay, so tip number 3 is to raise your dishwasher. So this one is not as common, not many people do this. We have a raised dishwasher in our showroom, and when I show all my clients, they're like, oh my God, that's amazing. My mum's had this in her kitchen for about 20 years, and it just makes the loading and unloading of the dishwasher so much easier, especially if, say, you have the, like I said in the previous tip, your sink and your dishwasher and your bin close by. You can use the bin, rinse the plate, load the dishwasher without having to bend down. So you're literally just kind of doing this motion. It's the small things. I know maybe bending down may not be that big of a deal for some people, but when it's something that you do every day, because let's be honest, you're going to use some cutlery every day, so you're either loading or unloading the dishwasher every day, it makes a big difference. So raising your dishwasher, you don't have to bend down, it makes the job faster. Also, if the dishwasher is kind of like the kids' job to unload, it just makes it a lot easier for them to do, a bit less of a chore for them, so maybe it'll be a bit easier to get them to do it, I don't know. Yeah, so raising your dishwasher, that is one of my favorite tips. It might be my favorite one of this whole video. Okay, so number 4. Number 4 is to not have your fridge in the middle of your prep zone or very close to your prep zone. So the fridge is a very important part of the kitchen, but it's also used by everybody in the household. It's not just the person who's doing the cooking or majority of the cooking in the household that uses the fridge. It will be anybody who's just coming to get a drink, somebody who's just making a tea. Sometimes you just open the fridge, see what's in there, close it, walk away. I do it all the time. I don't know why. Just come home from work, open the fridge, have a look, close it, and I walk away. As I was saying, you want to keep your fridge somewhere that's close by to your prep zone, but not going to interfere if people are coming in and out of the room to kind of just get a drink or make a tea or a coffee. This is more of an issue if you have a larger household. So if you have a 1 or a 2 person household, this is probably not going to be that big of a deal, but still something to consider. Whereas if you have a very large household, quite a few kids, lots of guests around all the time, then this is something you definitely need to consider. Finally, number 5. This one is a luxury, I will admit, but it does make for a more functional morning routine, I'd say. So this is to have a breakfast station. It can be anything from 800 ml to about 1200 wide. In this station, you'll have your morning essentials, so your porridge, your coffee, cereal, and then you'd have your fridge close by, or you could have an additional under-counter fridge. It's somewhere to keep everything that you have for your breakfast, so anything that you need to make toast, cereal, porridge, etc. What this does is it just means in the morning when you're in a rush and you're busy, you don't have to kind of be going from end to end of the kitchen or kind of moving around too much to get everything done. You just stay in one place, quickly make your toast, make your coffee, and then usually I try to also keep it close by to the seating on your island or your dining table, so you can quickly make your cereal, sit down, eat, and then everything is contained in one place, as in all of the mess. So you only have to clean up one area in the morning after you've had breakfast and you can go. So mornings are usually busy, you're trying to get to work, you maybe have a school run to do, maybe you've got like multiple people to feed. You want to kind of get that process done in the shortest amount of time as possible, because the worst thing is thinking it's going to take too long and you just skip breakfast, because I mean, that's what I do a lot of the time and I always regret it. So having a breakfast station definitely is space dependent, so you need a larger kitchen, but if you have the space, then definitely get breakfast station. So if you did it with a double door larder, that would obviously be cheaper way of doing it than with pocket doors. Pocket doors are obviously more functional because the doors open and then they slide back into the unit, so then they basically disappear as if you don't have any doors. A very nice feature to have, but is it necessary? No. Also, I mean, obviously it's not advised, but because it's all going to be in that one section, and if you don't have time in the morning to clean up, you can just quickly close the doors and then the kitchen looks neat, just in case, I don't know, you have somebody coming around quickly later in the day and you don't have time to clean it straight away. You just close those doors and then nobody needs to know about the mess behind there, and yeah, clean it up later. So that's another good thing about, I guess, a breakfast station. It's just it's a nice luxury to have. The list is actually endless. I could talk about 100 ways to make your kitchen more functional. We'll keep it to 5 for this video. If you found it interesting and you'd like me to make more videos about how to make your kitchen more functional, let me know in the comments and I can do that for you. I tried to keep this video kind of covering quite a few different areas of the kitchen, not just focusing on one, things that could help all different types of households as well. So if you found this video helpful or interesting, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. I've also linked another video here for you guys to watch next. It's my 2023 kitchen trends, and I'll see you in the next one.